The Texas Monthly Top 50 Barbecue list is pretty much the biggest thing in barbecue. So it's kind of a funny story how I found out we made the list. Good friend of ours, Ernest Cervantes from the Burnt Bean, they made #1. And he calls me and he's like, bro, did you see what number you are? And I was like, I thought it came out at 8. And he's like, it's already out. And I'm like, send me a screenshot, man, please. So I looked at the screenshot and it was just like, oh my God. And it was just a whole surreal moment. But what I really find special about it is everybody who we have working, including me, including my dad, my pitmasters, none of us had experience. None of us worked at Franklin's. None of us worked at Goldie's. Everything we've done, we figured out on our own, and every day we just make it happen, man. We just make it happen. My whole family, especially on my dad's side, every kid was in sports and every one of them was a great athlete. So growing up in Texas, you watch Texas Longhorns, college football. And my favorite moment in sports history is the 2005 National Championship, Texas Longhorns versus USC. And that year, Reggie Bush won the Heisman. I thought it should have been Vince Young, but it went to Reggie Bush. So I was like, man, this is huge for Vince. Like, they win this, that shows like he should have gotten there, right? So it was a crazy game, and it came down to the very end. It was a 4th and 5 with a few seconds left. And they were like at the 10 or 11 yard line, and they snapped the ball to Vince Young, and he's looking in the end zone. He doesn't see nobody. He rolls out, he gets the edge and right to the pylon, and he scores, and they win it, man. And as a kid seeing that, I went crazy. I went nuts because that was my team. Preparation is huge when it comes to preparing for games, but it's the same thing in the restaurant business. I do like the rain, in the morning especially, where my mind's always 100 miles an hour. And just for a split second, I can take a moment, listen to the rain, hear the fires, just relax, and then it kind of calms you and brings you down, and then you can get back to it. Those first few logs we had in here, they already burned out, so we got a little bit of a cold bed, nothing crazy. So we'll throw some more logs on there, and I like to throw a little bit more like the rounds. It gives a little bit more smoke, and that's what I want in the beginning of the cook, to get some color on the proteins. And then later we'll start hitting with splits just for the heat. A couple of rounds right on top for smoke. One of my favorite athletes of all time is Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant is known for the Mamba mentality. The Mamba mentality is just being the best version of yourself and getting better every day. So it doesn't matter if you didn't get sleep the night before, you gotta be there. You gotta show up. Sometimes I wasn't able to go home. Like for days I was there and I didn't get to go home. I would go to the office and I'd lay down there and just pass out, maybe for 20, 30 minutes just to get some sleep, and then come out and just keep going. And, those were tough times, but I mean, that's what it took to get to where we're at. So the process for the ribs started yesterday. We seasoned them in the evening. They sit overnight, and I feel like that flavor penetrates a little bit better. Our pork ribs go on first because that's what takes the longest. So we put our pork ribs, and then right after that we put on briskets. So the brisket, we're gonna cold smoke those for a good 2 hours, maybe 3, 150 to 200. So we like to start pretty low, and it just lets them relax and loosen up. These have been sitting in a walk-in for all night. So if you just throw them in and you're already at a 250, normally what's gonna happen is they're gonna like kind of tighten up. And that's when you get the curl on the lean and stuff. So we wanna slowly bring them up in temp. So we'll be about 150, 200 in the next 3 hours. And then from there is when we start cranking up to 250, 275, and we're rolling right there the rest of the day. So right now we got 30 briskets on for tomorrow. Yeah, so currently we have a lot of guys in the kitchen, in the pit room, who do have culinary degrees. Danny comes in, you know, at 4:35 a.m., makes all the sides by himself usually, and we have like 10 to 12 sides daily, and he just gets it done, and he never complains. He just comes in and does his job. And be like, hey Danny, we got this catering on top of your daily, you know, sides you gotta make, and it's a big, huge order, and all right, I got you. And he'll do it, he'll get it done.
So we're pretty known for our cornbread here. It ain't your ordinary mama's cornbread. Here we don't hold back. It's a honey butter cornbread, and literally that's what we put in. Honey and butter, and we don't shy away from that.
A lot of people call that God's cornbread.
Oh, yeah.
Rob, he's like my right-hand guy. When he came on, I didn't have too much help in the kitchen. My mind was everywhere. I was all over the place. I used to make sides and go to the back to the pits and go cut and stuff. So when Rob came, he was a huge help. He was a guy who was hungry, who he saw the vision and he matched my energy, and I was like, all right, you know, we could do this together. Let's do it. And he's become a brother to me.
So for the backside, I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of Fiesta Seasonal. Give it a nice little golden color once it comes off. Give it that nice little salty bite right underneath with the beautiful fat of this Hakioshi beef.
16 mesh goes on our briskets and our dino ribs. Everything else, every other protein, I use 32. It's a smaller mesh. It gives better coverage to the meat, and it creates a nicer looking bark. It gets darker. So our flavor profiles at GW's are pretty simple. It's Central Texas style. It's salt, pepper, a little bit of seasonal just for a little extra punch. That's what we love. So we're just gonna come in here and place everything on. Our turkeys, we'll ball it up, kind of tuck everything underneath, plug it up. Here you see it has like a really nice color.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, it looks good. How I got into cooking and barbecue, just how I grew up, my parents used to watch Food Network a lot. So I was always glued to the TV and I was always watching it. And I loved the whole aspect of the restaurant, being a small local business, serving all this great food, making people happy. I loved it. Right now we're just gonna cube up the pork belly. Took the ends off. It's just so we could get a nicer presentation. You get the nice cubes. So these ends though, so they don't go to waste, we're gonna chop them up into little pieces, and we make a pork belly fried rice. That's probably been our most popular side as of lately. I mean, it's got pork belly in it and fried rice, can't go wrong. When I graduated high school, I was so deep into sports and high school finish, and that was it. Like I didn't have no offers from, you know, college, anything like that. So it was like, what do I do now? Because all I ever wanted to do was play sports. But it was like, well, people say, do what you love. And my only other love was cooking. And I told my parents, and they were like, cooking? Like, they knew I loved cooking, but it was just never something I ever mentioned. So I gave it a shot. I went to culinary school for 2 years. And then when I got out, COVID happened, you know, and everything shut down. And shortly after, my dad actually bought a food truck because he wanted to do it together, because that was what I wanted to do, and he knew I couldn't find anything at the time. And man, when we started, we used to sell like 1 brisket, maybe 2 briskets. If we sold 1 brisket, we were happy. It was awesome. So slowly we started growing, and we had talked about opening a restaurant, a barbecue restaurant. And we decided to put everything we had into it, and we were gonna do it. And we found that location that we're at currently. So before GW's opened, the location was a Mexican restaurant. And we used to go eat there a lot. And we ate there so much to where I got tired of it. Now it's my home, like I live there. But the features do have that Spanish style to it. Spanish tile inside. The building on the outside, you know, looks, you know, that's Spanish features. But the inside, you walk in, and we've done our best to make you feel comfortable. So The way the team functions right now at GW's, for me, I like to say right now we have the A team. In the front, you have my wife, Ruby, Alec, my little brother, Gavin, and Rathan. Rathan started as a dishwasher, and now he's like one of our front of the house managers. And you know, those guys up there, they take lead in the front. And it's just, we want you to feel like you're at our house. You come in and, you know, you sit down, it's like you're at our backyard barbecue and you're just a guest there. And, you know, we want to make sure, you know, you feel welcomed.
What did you want? Pickles, onions, greens, all that? And then how about any bread or barbecue sauce?
Yes.
Gavin, he is my little brother, my youngest brother. He is our meat cutter right now, and he helps me a lot at the restaurant. He's really grown a passion for barbecue, and Gavin is very artistic. He's an artist. He'll draw out the whole tray. You know, he'll draw your brisket and the ribs and the color schemes of everything, of how it's gonna present.
Everything should be in a frame, you know, like a work of art. The tray should have a certain flow to it. And that's what I'm teaching Alec right now, our other meat cutter.
Alec is one of the ones who went to culinary school, and he just has a big passion for food, and now we're teaching him how to cut. And he was always just in the kitchen, and he used to cook with us in the back in the pits, and now he's meat cutting, and he's learning that part of it right now. He cares, so I love that about Alec. I could tell him, like, I need something done, and I need it to be a certain way, and I know it's gonna get done. And Gavin's on top of him. Gavin's like, hey, you need to do this better, you need to do that. You know, sometimes we bicker or we get mad at each other. But at the end of the day, man, we love each other, and we're just a big family.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Ruby, my wife, since we've started this whole journey, even before the restaurant, we had our food truck. She's been there with us since the beginning. She manages the restaurant, she does the scheduling, she oversees the front a lot. And she also, being there with me, she keeps me in check as well. You know, there's times I was tired and exhausted and I didn't know what I wanted to do no more. And she was like, hey, if you have this dream, you have to go after it. She's really pushed me to get where I'm at. Sorry. So our current style is we're open till 4 p.m. or until sold out. I really don't like selling out too early. I don't like it. I mean, especially now you have people traveling from different states and different cities, and I don't want them to get there and for them to not have any food or to not get what they want. So we have Carlos. He hasn't been here too long, but just in a short amount of time, he's made a pretty big impact.
You know, beef ribs, you can almost kind of just forget about them, you know, they'll do their thing. But briskets, you really got to babysit them. The last task of the day is to get all of these briskets pulled off the pit. One of the first things that goes on, one of the last things that comes off, you know, and our goal with the briskets is to get them to, you know, where they're nice and tender, but almost to the point of being overdone, but not quite over that edge, you know what I mean?
I think the biggest mistake people make when it comes to cooking brisket is just not having patience. People think they can put it on at noon and it's gonna be done for dinner. It ain't gonna happen. You gotta wake up real early and just be patient with it and cook low and slow all day if you want a good brisket, right? So it just takes time, need patience.
No crispy edges, huh?
No crispy edges.
Oh, geez.
That's why they got me out here. They're like, Carlos, I need you outside, man. I'm like, I want to go inside. The AC feels good in there. No, it's because we don't want the briskets to get all crispy. So I'm like, okay.
Makes sense to me.
The guy's a goofball, but he's a hard worker. He comes in, asks what needs to be done, and it gets done, you know. My favorite Kobe story is probably his last game. And I've heard a story where Shaq talks about, he saw him before the game and they kind of made like a little bet, and he was like, I think something like, I bet you can't get 40. And he was like, all right. And then he gets 61 points. And it's like, nah, that's badass. Like, tell me I can't do it, and I'm gonna do it. That is Kobe Bryant. My favorite thing about cooking barbecue is that pursuit of perfection. That's what excites me. That's what it's all about. So I've lived in the RGV my whole entire life. The RGV stands for the Rio Grande Valley, and most people just call it the Valley. There's this phrase that they say is puro 956, and it embodies the culture of the Valley and that pride that everybody here has. It's saying that you were made here and you have these roots, and that's who you are. It's pretty far south from Central Texas from barbecue. San Antonio's 4 hours north of us. We're about 10 minutes away from the Texas-Mexico border. So being able to make the top 5 is crazy.
So where are you guys from?
Houston. We follow the Texas Monthly Barbecue list pretty closely. Just came all the way down here for barbecue.
First time and our longest drive that was 6 hours for us.
One of our favorite quotes is every second counts. And it just refers to you have to have that mentality that you don't have time to waste. If you don't get this right now, you're screwed. You have one shot. The work culture that we have at GW's is really that Mamba mentality. And you see us daily just busting our ass and getting things done. We really feed off each other. If it's your first time coming to GW's, I always recommend getting the Trinity. Those are the staples of Texas barbecue. The most popular cut of meat at GW's is the brisket. People want the beef, they love brisket, so that's our most popular item.
Come on, dude. Look at that. Let's try it. Like beef butter. Wow. Excellent quality of beef on this. Killer brisket. Come here, you gotta get the brisket, absolutely.
And then we have our pork spare ribs, Duroc pork, which is the best we can find. You know, we keep everything simple in the seasoning, but we bring flavor with that smoke.
It's unique from other Texas spare ribs I have because of the glaze. The glaze is a lot more thicker and sweeter to me. It just had such a nice mouthfeel. It just coated the mouth with this like nice sweetness and just really cradled that pork flavor. Really stinking good pork ribs and very unique to me.
We also have our jalapeno cheese, which is something that I like to be more creative with. It's a classic Central Texas style sausage.
All right, so there's a little bit of pepper and cheese. Let's try it out. Fantastic. A little spicy, super juicy, super fatty, rich. Really well-made sausage too. It's very tight, got a really good bite to it. Fantastic on the sausage.
And we also have our pork loin. That's something that I really enjoy. It's one of my favorite cuts. We season it pretty heavily and we cook it just right. And I mean, it's super juicy, flavorful, it's awesome. It ain't your typical pork loin.
Really good, juicy, tender meat on the inside. Yeah, that would be turkey for me any day.
And then, so we also have right now for our seasonal items, we have our Chinese orange pork belly. We cook them and we put our orange glaze that we make ourselves. It's got some orange zest in there and soy sauce and different flavorings. And then we garnish it with sesame and green onion, and it's just a perfect bite as well.
Oh my gosh, that is so good. The Asian glaze just complements the pork so well, so the pork flavor really shines through, and you can tell this is a really high quality pork. And you can just see it, like the fat is just so well rendered in this. This might be the best pork belly I've ever had.
And then currently too, we're doing our herb lamb chops. We take some dried herbs and we blend them in a coffee grinder and we pretty heavily coat it on there. And then we just cook it hot and fast so it gets a little char on there.
Let's try out this lamb chop. A nice crust all around it. All right, let's go for it. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of lamb, but it's not super gamey. It's actually, the meat is very buttery, it's very tender, and then that herb crust on the outside is killer. This is really good. Wow, so tender.
And then from there, we'll have different side options every seasonal menu. Our honey butter cornbread is one of our most popular items. It's almost like cake, it's so good. It's addicting.
Honey butter cornbread going in. Like, have you ever had the cornbread that like comes out of a box? That is like the Charmander. This is like the Charizard. This is the fully evolved form of that cornbread. It's cakey, it's moist. This cornbread is so good. I would eat a whole sheet pan of this stuff.
So we have our pork belly fried rice. So we threw it on the plancha on the flat top and let that fat render get a little crispy, and threw some eggs on there, and we cooked some rice and some carrots and onions and soy sauce and seasonings. Garnish it with a barbecue spicy mayo, and we top it with sesame seeds and green onions, and it's probably our best-selling side right now. It's really good.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that. It's just packed with flavor. So every like scoop of this coagulated rice egg flavor bomb is just so delicious. This should not leave the menu. This is so sinking good and very unique.
And then we have currently our chado lentils. So a lot of people coming in when we first started wanted chado beans. It's something just prevalent in our area that, you know, people are used to. With this menu, I was like, I'm gonna do chados, but they're not gonna be normal chado beans, they're gonna be chado lentils. So we cook them chado bean style, so it's got bacon and onions and garlic and tomato and jalapeno. So they're very flavorful. I really enjoy the lentils right now.
Wow. It has like spice, it has like a freshness to it. The cilantro on top just adds that like kick to it. Another killer side.
We have our strawberry cobbler. People were always asking for peach cobbler, and I didn't want to be, you know, the traditional peach cobbler. I didn't want to do it. Some strawberries and rhubarb with some sugar and some lemon juice for balance, a little bit of vanilla. And we make this really good topping, like it's a crumble with some oats and butter and sugar and pecans. So good, everybody loves that cobbler. It's really good.
Oh, wow. Peach cobbler got nothing on this. This is so good. Oh my gosh. Easily one of the best barbecue trays I've ever had in my life.
My favorite thing to do during the service, once the line's already started and it's flowing, I'll stand right next to the register and I just watch the line service. And I'll watch Gavin cutting, and I'll watch the guy serving sides, you know, smiling, laughing with customers. And that's just the best part of the day right there.